press conferences. Leading us off is world champion, Olympic champion, world record holder Lilly King. Entered in 50, 100, 200 breaststroke. Maybe the 200 IM this week.
I'm in her.
But we'll just start off, Lilly, kind of tell us, how training has been going, how you've been able to transition from, another great college season into the long course season up until this point.
Yeah, training's been good so far. It's been a little rough the last couple of weeks just because I haven't been tapering as much as the rest of the team. I've been swimming mostly with the junior national swimmers that are our incoming freshmen, but feeling pretty good today in the water and looking forward to a good meet.
All right. Go ahead and take questions if you could raise your hand just so we can get you a mic so that our audio can pick that up. That'd be great. First to Martin.
Hey Lilly, how are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
Last time I saw you was the Rio Olympics. Obviously such an incredible high for you, but you've backed it up since. But what was it like coming back from that and that incredible experience, kind of coming back to normal life afterwards?
It was a lot of emotions definitely coming back. Obviously, super excited to come back home and kind of living this new life. But then on the other hand, you have to come back and start training and getting back into the groove of things. So in that sense, it was a little bit harder. But I think we're it's been almost 2 years now, so starting to get back to normal.
Just to give people a sense who may not be completely familiar with the ins and outs of competitive swimming, but where are you at right now in the cycle? Obviously a lot is focused towards 2020, so what's the focus and what are the goals at this point in the process?
Yeah, for me at this meet, just kind of looking to put up some good times, hopefully faster than I was at World Championship Trials last year, and then just kind of trying to go best times at Pan Pac. So that's kind of where I am, just looking forward to Tokyo. I've kind of put Rio behind me, and obviously I'd still like to talk about it, but yeah, kind of putting that behind me and then trying to look forward.
One of the things that the general public likes is a storyline, and you definitely had one in Rio. The rivalry, people gravitated towards it and very much enjoyed it. When you look back on that part of it now, what are your sort of favorite memories from that period of time?
I think mostly my favorite memories from that was just hanging out with the team and getting to know all of my other national team members. Those are the memories that I'm going to remember. Obviously I won a gold medal and that was great and all, but I'm definitely going to remember the people and the stories a lot more than what happened to me personally.
And just last one for me, you've quite rightly taken a very strong stance against doping. A different kind of situation yesterday, I guess, with Ryan getting banned for a doping-related offence, but not directly doping. What are your thoughts on that? Because you've spoken out very strongly about this issue. How did what happened yesterday affect you, and what are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, just kind of personal thoughts. It's really hard to see that happen to a friend and a teammate and someone that you've looked up to. But then again, you can't break the rules like that. So it's obviously hard to see that happen to Ryan, but you have to follow the rules, and I appreciate that FINA and WADA and USADA and all the doping agencies are kind of cracking down on that now, because it's something that needs to happen, but still not something you want to see happen to a friend or a teammate.
Go to Wayne.
Hi Lilly, Wayne Drace from ESPN. I'm just curious if you were aware of that rule, the IV rule, before yesterday?
I'm not really, I don't personally take IV drips, not really my thing. But as far as I read in the articles that I read about it, the substances he was taking, well, from my knowledge, were legal, but you need a therapeutic use exemption to be able to take those, or take the IV drip or something like that. Obviously, I don't take any supplements, and I don't plan on taking supplements, so not something that is, I guess, in the back of my mind, but I still, if I were to do that, I would check it out and see if I needed a TUV for that.
Nick?
Nick Zaccardi at NBC Sports. You mentioned earlier not being as tapered as some of your training partners are. How tapered are you for this meet compared to, I guess, what nationals last year and Olympic trials, and what's your reasoning behind?
I think at least, I don't even remember Olympic trials, that was so long ago. And then last year I was probably a little bit more tapered for nationals than I am this year. I was probably doing around 10 to 12K a day last week. Then I've kind of dropped off this week for more of a 3-day drop going into the meet. So I think this is the least tapered I've been going into nationals, but kind of thinking behind that, it's a lot harder to come back from, or at least do a double taper. And I swim a lot better on just a single taper. So our focus is obviously Pan Pacs and not this meet. So that was kind of mine and my coach's thought process on that.
Wayne?
Can I ask the dumb sort of layman's question? When you're not on that taper as well as you'd like to be, what does that feel like? What does that mean for you in the water?
It depends. Sometimes at practice I hate it because I see my teammates get out of the water a half hour before I do, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of miserable the last couple weeks. But then again, like when you put up a good swim when you're not really on taper yet, it's really good for your confidence, I think. And I've done that a couple times before, and I know that I'm going to swim faster in the weeks to come. So I think it's a really good way to kind of measure yourself and where you're going to be when you're on your full taper, I guess.
Coleman?
So you also mentioned that you're swimming with the junior national kids. Kind of what's that been like the past couple of weeks, especially compared to your normal training partners?
Yeah, it's been fine. I mean, our junior national kids are just our incoming freshmen, so it's given me a chance to get to know them a little bit better. And they're really fast, which I'm not used to our incoming freshmen being that fast, but they've been whipping my butt the last couple weeks, and it's been fun just kind of getting to know the younger kids on the team.
Anyone else?
I'll ask one more. How is your role different now, post-Rio, when you go to Indiana and you're swimming with incoming freshmen? Those kids, those athletes, I'm guessing look at you a lot differently than swimmers looked at you 3 years ago.
Yeah.
How is that different?
I think, when I came in as a freshman, I was just so happy to be there, and I was the kid who would literally sprint everything in practice and didn't care. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that my body can't really handle that. But I see the freshmen doing that now, and that makes me excited for them in the future because I know that's exactly how I was like as a freshman. But as far as my role, I like being looked up to, and I like being the example for those kids, and I have a lot of stories to share and a lot of experiences that I can kind of give to them and just kind of lead the way, and I like that. I enjoy that.
Not to harp too much on yesterday's news, but given what you said in Rio, do you consider what happened to Ryan in the same level as what happened to Yulia, and would you agree with him being able to come back to competition?
I don't really know. I'm not exactly in charge of handing out the sentences, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really that knowledgeable on substances and kind of what they do to the body, just because I don't take them and I'm not going to, and it's just not something that I think about that much. But I mean, as far as them banning him, I do think, if you do something wrong, you should serve time and you should be punished. So again, it's hard to see that happen to a friend, but I don't really see anything wrong that happened yesterday.
Thanks, everybody. We'll be back soon.